Hello, everyone. Ooh, I had to swallow. Remember this, swallow before you start speaking. So, welcome to another episode here on Gorbad Ironclaw and Belagar. Of course, he's had enough with me because he's so close to me. And he's a dwarf, and I'm greenskins, and of course, that naturally happens. I was expecting these sort of declarations of war. Honestly, I was expecting these much sooner. I was expecting these by the time that I took Caracate Peaks. So it's kind of nice. I've nearly destroyed some of the other enemies, so I'm kind of fine. Kugath is attacking me here, and I'm likely gonna have just very easy battles here. You know, just even almost just auto resolves against Kugath. He has very little in terms of armies here. And he has been taking attrition, of course, because these mountainous terrains, they're not good for Kugath's health. So yeah, you can see that he has a lot of attrition. That's good for me. That means less issues, and the auto-resolve does help a little bit here. And over here, I do have some trouble with the enemy armies that are coming in, but as long as he doesn't have like a swarm of like 5 to 6 armies coming in, I should be fine. If he just drip feeds some armies, I can just create some armies to deal with him. So that's the sort of idea. I'm going to try to maybe ambush this army. It should give me no trouble. And the sort of idea in this area, initially it was just as a delay tactic. And in retrospect, I should have never taken it. Mostly because it's giving me this problem against Tretch and against other and Nurgle and everything. It's just distracting me from the main premise, which is to go and attack the Empire, which is eventually the prospect of this campaign. So that's sort of what can happen. And over here, Angrund's locations and the situation of here attacking where the dwarfs are, it's always a pain to go there because it's always how to say, all of this land of the new world, of the old world, basically, it's so difficult to defend. It's very easy to say in some locations to just attack, but it's very easy to also be counterattacked. So it's a constant back and forth. And well, it just creates very much complex situations. So I'm just gonna keep looting and occupying, gaining some income, of course, and just making sure that I get some garrisons up or get some, income buildings. Let's try some of these raiding ones. Well, I guess I should have the main income ones because I'm gonna need some armies, and then I can try the raiding ones. For now, you're gonna be fine. Maybe I should get some more raiding for this guy. It's not like Indomitable is gonna go well. But maybe a devastating charge can help out, Maybe it can help. Who knows?
The best is always mine.
But yeah. And for now, the Empire has not declared war on me, which is perfect. I am getting some armies near the borders here, and I expect some attacks on these bordering ports, which should be good because, of course, I'll have the settlements to defend as well. And yeah, I don't have a lot of the plans, but luckily I already have these ones where the duration is unlimited. You gotta get your lords up to level 30 to achieve that. So that's cool. I still need to unlock a few of them, which is why I consider, I really consider Gorbad's campaign really good in terms of going well into the late game, precisely because it just allows you to go so well into always having different plans, and always having to use different plans easily, or having some scrap. So you always have something to do if you wish, unless you're just like, all the time doing doom stacks, or if you're all the time using a cheap effective unit. unless you're completely squeezing every single cheese that you can, you're gonna have a good time with Gorbad. Just make sure that you don't rush it. Take your time, prepare or you're gonna have like a campaign that lasts maybe a month of your time or a couple of weeks of your time, depending on how fast you play out. But it's an interesting campaign, that's for sure. Of course, I do have kids. That takes away a lot of my free time, and that's a problem. That's a pain always. But yeah, let's get some gold going here in Cambry. That's very important. I actually have to get it to tier 5 as quick as possible, because I'm very terrified of an attack here in Cambry. I've considered selling Cambry either to Bretonia or to the other dwarfs to just get better relations with them, because an attack by both here would mean it wouldn't be the end, but if every single order faction attacks me, then I'll be toast. That's for sure. Then I'll have to invest in so many armies, and I'll have to be just in a losing, not a losing, but on a constant grinding and just trying to get more armies, to get level up the armies, level up the units, and just make sure that at least focus on one enemy at a time and eliminate them, and just have some lucky grounds, I would say. Just like, for instance, I concentrated on one enemy at a time and defended against one, that would have to be the case. So I'm gonna eliminate Angrund, that's for sure, finally. Eliminating Angrund, likely Tretch is gonna be eliminated, then I'm probably gonna try and eliminate Nurgle. I really don't like his attacks, and that would make me much better, in a much better position. So I skipped a few turns, and yes, I gained peace with Nurgle. He's very easy. As soon as I defeat one or two armies, he's very easy to go for a peace treaty. Now, as long as I have good armies here, or good ports here with some basic defenses, I feel fine. Okay, and I'm trying to reach to Zufbar, and this guy needs to go all the way down. I've destroyed Ungrim, so that's also nice. That army from Skarsnik is not Skarsnik, from the spider army is over there. I'm getting some better improved rewards from the WOG, which is always so nice. It's gonna get in one turn. That was timed perfectly. I did lose the Dark Hold. It's kind of fine, it's not something that it's completely out of the way. And I'm gonna try and get a lot of lava rock and rock spiders and other lava spiders from the next reward from the WOG. Okay, and yeah, that's gonna be it. And maybe I can push with those armies against Nurgle, do some damage, and who knows, I'll be in a good position to suddenly go and jump in against the Order Tide. Biggest problem of the Order Tide is that it's like rank 1, rank 2, and rank 4 or something like that. I really want to get Balagar settlements and armies, the initial ones destroyed as best as possible, and at least get to a point that I can have a fourth another army, maybe 2 more armies to fight on this location, and maybe have Oglok the Horrible with his full strength, with starting to have some scrap, having all of these units in tier 7. That would be perfect, because all of these units would be very powerful with tier 7 stuff. Let's give them regimental so that I can get more gold. So overall, I think these ones are really cool. I like the shooter runs because of the artillery damage. That's perfect. And you really want some artillery damage with these guys. And the second plan is definitely the eat the runs. Yep, definitely eat the runs. Although the fungus farms and the idle loading is the next one. I really like it. Well, the idols just surround the artillery units, and then you have very good artillery units that will come in handy fighting the Empire, because you want to have some form of idea to attack them. So I'm gonna get Spidery Doom. That's 4 Arachnodox spiders with armor piercing missiles, and that's 2 lava Arachnodox spiders, so that's great. I don't get a lot of scrap, but still I have pretty much enough. I'm gonna fight some battles, of course, and try to see if I can get at least cap out some of the scrap in some of my armies, at least my 3 biggest armies, so that I can say complete, and then I'll put an S to say no more scrap upgrades for this army as well, which would be perfect as well. I did some auto-resolving here. Basically, it was just an easy part. Didn't lose too many, stuff. Honestly, stuff that I wouldn't bother too much, just a couple of wolves here and just a couple of orc boys here, which don't cost anything. They didn't have any scrap on them, so I was kind of fine with that. And the reality of the thing is that I cannot waste too much time when I'm recording. I always try to minimize, to fight some battles, of course, but I have to choose. I have to choose some battles to showcase and some battles to just auto-resolve and skip and skip and skip and skip. Otherwise, it just prolongs a campaign for too long. Right now, I really want to take at least until episode 50 to just go towards the Empire, finish off the Empire, or at least finish off long campaign victory, which would be fun. It would be a fun ending, do the long campaign victory. Even though I consider that I should have done it much faster. I think it's just that I've just been completely thwarted with how I've been doing things. So what I want here is for Snide Neck Snapper to have like a full army just of forest goblins, of just very fast units, forest spider units, but maybe I'm gonna leave some night goblins, squeak hoppers, and just use like that. Or maybe I'm gonna have some night goblins, fanatics, archers, I don't know, maybe like a full archer army. Still don't know what I'll do, but it seems more likely that should go for that. Yeah, I'm gonna recruit recruit those. That leaves me up to 20. That's fine. That's fine. That's a good army. Like, this is a full mobile army, lots of single entities, everything is armor piercing. Seems like web weaving and brood mothers is going to be excellent here. I don't know if there's going to be any other tactics that I'm going to be using, but it doesn't seem like it. With the gobos, I don't have shoot the runs or anything like that. But yeah, that's good. That's good enough. And yeah, that sounds like a good army to have. So I'm going to start likely raiding on the territory of Nurgle. I really want them to try and attack me again, but this time on my terms, if possible. I want them to go on my terms. This army is just, it's not an army really, it's just an amalgamation of units that I summed up as quick as possible as I could. And that's sometimes what you do, you just have, hey, let me just get as many units as I can. Bladuf Tuftaka, this guy kind of has a typical army. He has a couple of orc boys precisely for a specific tactic that requires just a couple of orc boys in the army. Let's get Arog as fast as possible to this location. You're going to be here, you're the guardian basically of this whole area in case there's a counterattack that I'm not prepared for. Definitely going to need some defenses over here. I should get started on another army, that's for sure. Okay, there's 2. It's said that I no longer have the Wog army because these 2 armies would be destroyed easily with that. Note that I never have lightning strike. I just consider it to be so easy. You can imagine like, oh, there's 2 armies, I'll lightning strike both and I'll win. That's just, yes, ambush is a chance. It requires a little bit of investment in some other stuff, while even the auto resolve is sometimes it can seem cheesy because you can always realize, oh, this army works really well in auto resolve. So let me just get the boys here and some other. I want magic. Yeah, I want arcane conduit, that's for sure. This is the worst of the heroes, but still, I gotta have some heroes, and I got to try to use some. I want wolf-hearted, that's for sure. I really want riders on this army. I want to try and use those, okay, and Goblin Tide. I want to try and use the wolf units, at least somewhat. Because otherwise, that you're using, it's always the same units, you know. So Black Orcs, yeah, there we go. You get a Deadly Blade, yep. I guess so. Because otherwise, you're always using the same armies, and if you're always using the same armies, it gets boring. So, like, it has been very fun to use this army of Night Goblins and Squigs, for instance, and some Trolls against Scarbrand and be victorious. That was pretty fun, you know, so that's the sort of idea that I want to go with. So now, should we get better stuff here, or should we use the scrap to just get everything available to us? I honestly think I need a couple more. I got the one for the artillery. I think I'm gonna get every upgrade before for the units, while using the scrap for some of these units. There's 400 here, so let me get the scrap upgrades for these guys. Those have everything. That one doesn't have everything. These don't. Okay, now we have the Trolls with everything, with all the scrap upgrades, are terrifying monstrous units. These guys are just crazy good. So I need another, yeah, a couple of more scrap, and these guys are just going to be so effective, so good. Let me see what I can get. More range, that's excellent, and not yet. Okay, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, that's cool. And overall, that's the sort of idea. In terms of quick deals, one situation that I didn't predict too much is how because I've been fighting the Skaven, which was not well predicted by me. I wasn't expecting that the Skaven would be so ill against me, because I'm fighting the enemies. I'm fighting their enemies. I'm fighting the dwarves all the time. So because of that, it's kind of sad that I don't have the Skaven as my allies, because I would definitely love to have some outposts with them. Maybe the Oracles of Zinj one time. They have good strength and some settlement. 17, that's good. That means they dominate the south part. And if I go against the Nurgle, they will like me. And there are some parts of Sartosa, they are holding on, but not for too long. But of course, Empire, Wisseland, and Nuln, if they join, I'm dead. I'm not dead, they'll just be very powerful, extremely powerful, and I'll just be hammering on that front for a long time before likely succeeding. But you know, that's where the sacking economy comes in. You know, you can just go in, try to sack some settlements, you know, and then, or raise some settlements, go back, and just make them pay for the fact that they are at war with you as much as you can, you know. But that's a different tactic to showcase if I can, but that'll have to be for the next episode. So that's turn 100. As you can see, there's plenty of things to do, no rush, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.